I truly believe that our pets will wind up in heaven because they bring us so much love and they're such a great joy. It's hard for me to imagine that something so wonderful could not enjoy the presence of God. I really believe that they are brought to us by God. Anyway, I don't know what Troy's going to wind up doing, but he's hanging around. Anyway, I think what I'm going to wind up doing now is going to go to Fridays with these messages, and it seems to me that Friday is the day that probably have the best handle on life. Things are just really busy in the middle of the week. It creeps up on me, and just all of a sudden it's here, and I find myself getting behind. So I think what I'm going to do is move to Fridays and see what happens with it from here. So we just finished up the Beatitudes, and I want to give you one final word on that. The ladder that I showed you that you could climb. It's not a one time thing. You don't just go up the 8 steps and then all of a sudden you're there. It's an ongoing process, and you might have to do it several times, and that's just the way life is. I could tell you from my experience that is exactly how life is. Make the climb, you get knocked down a couple rungs, you have to climb back up. But the thing is this is when you start at that first rung, that bottom rung where you're poor in spirit, that's a start, and God will lift you up all the way. And you know what? It's actually, when you look back sometimes, it actually is a really neat thing to watch the progress you made. It's how you're going to grow with God. And remember, Jesus is on the hill. He's teaching these things to the people that are listening to him that are there. And he goes on to say this in this week's lesson, which is Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 to 16. He says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is good. It is then good for nothing, but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men. Let that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." What we're going to do now is we're going to look at Jesus' continuing Sermon on the Mount, and I'm going to read things to you. There's not a whole lot of teaching I have to do right now. It's pretty self-explanatory. In this case here, I want you to think about food that you've made or food that somebody's made for you, and you went, "Ah, it needs salt." Ooh, it's horrible. Once you put salt on it, it tastes great. Jesus is saying that about you. He's saying that about us. He's saying that about people who will follow him. When you get into his word and you start to follow him and you start to do the things he wants you to do and live the way he wants you to live, people are going to be drawn to you because you're going to have this flavor about you. Think about some of the people you know that you can apply this to. You're like, you know what? I really like that person. I like hanging around that person. That person's a nice person. They're easy to get along with. They do good things, and they give sound advice. Those are the kind of people that we want drawn to us. And the reason being is what Jesus said in here: "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." When you are like this, people are drawn to you, like I said, and they see something in you. And what they see in you is they see God in you. And when they see God in you, they want to be like you. And when they want to be like you, because you're like God, they want to be like God. So God gets all of you. He wants you with him. He wants you with him for all of eternity, but he also wants you with him here on this earth. So he wants you to be different than everybody else. We all know how much evil is in this world. And when people who are not evil, when people who are strong and confident and they're doing God's things, we're drawn to them. We see them. They stand out like the light that Jesus talks about. That's how he wants you to live. It is so much more rewarding to live that way than it is to live the other way. You know people that live the other way. Don't be like them. They are good for nothing. They're like food without salt. If you want to really know what it tastes like, just grab a pile of dirt and start eating that. That's what those people taste like. That's what they are like. You don't be like that. You be different. You do God's things. You let other people come to you so that they can see God. Next week, we are going to look into a little bit of the Ten Commandments that Jesus will teach about, and he will explain. And over the next few videos, and God willing, I'm going to show you these things, and you're going to look and you're going to go, all right, I get it now. I understand. And I hope that you will strive to live the way Jesus is talking about now and what he's going to teach you later on. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.